Here we are again, yogis. Yep, it's not weights today, it's some yoga with me. I have got a little sequence for you today, which is called Warriors, Goddesses and Crescents. And I'm going to do it with a little bit of a variation because we're going to use a strap. So if you've got a strap, awesome. You can get these from Yoga Mad, so I've put them at the beginning. If you haven't got one, they're really worth investing in. This is 2.5 meters. I'm going to show you what to do because it took me ages. I've gone into yoga classes just for someone to do this right. So first of all, make sure you've got no kind of wiggles and twists in the strap. Put it through the first letterbox. Can you see that? First letterbox. And then send it and post it in the second letterbox and come out by this tongue bit. And you pull that. Oops. Should have been a Blue Peach presenter. Wouldn't that be nice? And you pull that, and I want you to take this today to the width of your elbows. But how you pull this through is that this one is adjustable, the longer one is adjustable, and the shorter one, the one underneath, should be able to be seatbelt tight. And for ages, no one really explained that that's what I ought to do. I know it's really simple, but you know what? Maybe that says more about me. Okay, so I want this to be at the distance of your shoulders or elbows, kind of if you were here, like Magic Mickey the robot. So taking that into the forearms, just to restrict them, because we're going to use it later on, and I wanted you to get all the prep work done. Okay. Now, just be mindful that you may have to adjust them, but that's totally fine too. So we're going to come, where are we going to start today? So we're going to take the strap and we're going to just come onto the mat. I'm just going to sort my mats out because they're all over the place. And we don't need any breaks today. We're just going to come and just begin to warm up. Take your tailbone under. So we're going to take Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. Mula Bandha, if you've forgotten, or it's still sounding very alien, is the top of the perineum in men and the top of the cervix in women. So if you start to tuck your tailbone under and squeeze your bum cheeks slightly, you'll feel that you kind of activate that. It's a little bit deeper than that initial, but that's a really good way to start to initiate that Mula Bandha, that root lock. And then again, belly button towards the spine, 2 little prongs from your belly button, one going down to your root and then one coming up to your heart. And you're going to hear me say these two things all the time, so you know it doesn't matter, one day it will sink in. So we're going to zip up through the belly, the heart, the chest. Just lift the arms to the sky and bend the knees gently, keeping the belly tucked, lower the hands to the earth. Just beginning our little warm up. Inhale, lift them to the sky. And if you've got low blood pressure, just take this a little slower. Maybe keep the face forward until you reach the edge and come up really, really slowly. Doesn't matter if you're a different time to me. If you do 4 stretches up and I do 6, really, the world's not going to end. It's totally good. And then as we inhale, rise up. As we exhale, bring the hands to your heart center. And just finding ourselves in Tadasana or Samastitihi, equal standing pose. Just check your feet are nice and parallel with your hips, so they're lined up with the internal structure of the pelvis rather than external shape of your leggings. I just want you to take a loving, self-loving deep breath in and exhale. Throw out the bad. So anything happened to you today that you really didn't need to happen, just let that go with your out breath. Inhale, breathe in the good. And exhale, let out the bad. Inhale, one more time. Exhale. Now remind yourself of the Salkalpa. The Salkalpa that we set at the beginning of our session on the first day, or maybe before the first day. Or maybe on day 3 if you're somewhat like me and get really busy at times and then think, I'll come to that on Wednesday or Thursday or Friday. It's totally fine. But hopefully you're all good the first week and you set yourself up on day one. Remind yourself of that intention and your goal and repeat to yourself 3 times. And then slowly release the hands to the sides of the body and we're going to twist. We can bring the hands onto the hips. So here you can begin to smack your own bottoms if you want to. I could have been really terribly sexist there and said you can slap your own bottoms if nobody else is, but hey, anything goes. Just slap your own bottoms. You're stimulating the glute. You're sending messages to the central nervous system and the spine, which is, activating those muscles. So, all is good when we have that sense of touch. Never underestimate the sense of touch. It's not just touching your skin. It's touching everything through that facial body, even into the bone. When you bruise your skin on the outside, you bruise the bone. It's not just like skin deep. It goes all the way to the center. Let's bring the breath into this. Inhale left, exhale right. Nice. Keep the eyes open. Let those arms fling. Really great for your balance. Really great for your eyesight. Working the muscles of the eyes as we just twist through and warm up. And then let's come into center. Reach the arms to the sky. Exhale, low to the earth. Inhale, come up halfway. And exhale, come all the way down into plank. Retract the shoulders. Hold it for maybe 3 breaths. And if it's too much in the body, bring the knees down. If it's still too much, take a child's pose. You've got lots of options there. Bring your left knee down. Rotate the right foot out. Reach the arm all the way over like an extended plank or a side plank. And then as we exhale, bring that all the way down. Come on up into plank. Bring the right knee down and take your arm up and then all the way up. Inhale, lift that up. Come all the way back. Push back into your child's pose. Inhale, come all the way forward into downward facing dog. Nice. As we inhale, come up onto the tiptoes. Exhale, bring that left foot forward, draw the right knee down. Reach your right hand to the sky. Bring the left hand across the waist. And then as we exhale, bring the right hand down and reverse twist. Draw the left thigh in towards the center of the body as we reach and open through that left arm. And then as we inhale, come all the way up, extend the hands and stretch open. Draw down, and you may want to take a little bit of a blanket or a little bit of cover or protection underneath that right knee. Bring the arms forward, reach forward, extend, draw back, push back into downward facing dog or child's pose. Holding it here. Breathing in, breathing out to rotate the elbows forward. That draws the shoulders away from the ears. So the elbow wells come towards the front of your mat. And then as we inhale, bring that right foot forward, draw the left knee down. I'm looking for this square shape between the legs. You want to reach the left hand down, reach the right hand up. And then bring that right hand down. Take the left hand up. Or we can bring this hand across the waist if you're feeling stable. Really stretch up. Thinking of elongating the space between your hip bone and your ribs. And then as we come back, draw the shoulders back. Find that still tucking under the table. So we're not lifting and dropping here. We're lifting through those shoulder blades as they draw to the spine. Nice. Inhale, lift up, draw up through the back leg. And then step forward to the front of the mat. You're going to, from the front of the mat, reach the arms up. Exhale, come back into warrior one. So I'm going to take you through almost rather than a flow. This is almost like a little workshop today. So it's a mix of a workshop and flow so that you get to know what's really going on in these poses. So bring both feet in. So they are on a very small train track. They're not on the same line. And if, because of the nature of your hip, you need to turn your back foot out kind of 30 degrees or so, feel free to do that. If not, have both feet facing forward and a slight bend in both knees. Now, rather than, this is naturally where my hips want to come, but actually I'm a little bit of a back bender. And what's happening is that my quads are a little bit dominant and they're drawing my hips forward. So I have to tuck my tailbone under. This is what's going to help stretch out, just like I said a moment ago, this space between my ribs and then my shoulders and my pelvis. And you're exactly the same. Only because your body is your body, maybe you naturally come to stand and you don't need to tuck your tailbone under, maybe quite as much as I do. But even so, that inclination or that movement of dropping pointing your bum cheeks towards the floor is what we need to do. Because you'll find that you'll engage these glutes. And these glutes are not only glutelicious, bootylicious, and look good in your yoga pants, as in we get a nice shaped bottom, but more importantly, they help hold up the whole body. So they help hold up the legs, move the legs, the hips, the back, the front. So most back problems come because we don't engage our glutes enough. So I am always going on about glutes. And then from here, we reach again, extending the space. So if you're in class with me now, I'd come up behind you, and on an inhale breath, I'd be extending and lifting, and you'd feel 2 inches taller. So imagine my lovely little clean mitts around your waist, and I'm lifting you up. Now draw the shoulder blades back so your ears and your shoulders are never going to meet. That's a relationship, it's never going to happen. And spread the toes. I really think of engaging here through the floor, through your foundation, into our lovely warrior one. And you may feel that because the arms are lifted, we are, without even knowing it, you're engaging those lower abdominal muscles, which are really harder to work. And they're, as I said, probably before, I always repeat myself, they're connected to the inside of your pubic bone. So I just think of drawing up and stretching and elongating through the front body here. Nice. It's really lovely pose, warrior one. And then as we exhale, let's step back into downward facing dog. Bring your other foot forward. And again, make sure both heels down, rise up. Same thing other side. Again, find your foundation. If your foot needs to turn out to the side, so be it. Feel that foundation on the floor. So the feet are drawing down, the whole of the foot, the instep super active. We're not locking out any joints. And then again, tuck the tailbone under so you feel as your bum cheeks are pointing to the heel, that heel are pointing to the floor. Draw the shoulder blades down the back and rise up through the arms. Start to extend and elongate through the front body. Slightly straighten the back knee. Making sure the front knee is bent. And draw the shoulder blades down the back. And although I could stand here pretty passively, this is actually quite active. So I can feel my shoulders, I can feel my feet, my legs, I can feel the glutes. And if I really inhale, lift up, and drawing in still through Uddiyana and Mula Bandha, I can feel that connection to my finger, from my fingers to my lower abdominal muscles, my lower six-pack muscles. Inhale and exhale. And then exhale again. Come all the way down into downward facing dog. Slight variation, bring your left foot forward. So warrior one is with the heel down, always. But in yoga, we do quite a lot of lunges. So I'm going to take you through a series of lunges. So this is a runner's lunge. And you may want to take bricks at either side to lift the heart, the chest. And this is really common, really great for runners, for cyclists, for anyone, basically. Really nice to lengthen through your quads here, stretch out the calves. And I just want you to pay particular attention to my back heel. So often you see the runner's lunge done with the heel pushing towards the earth, which it should be done. And then when we come and stand up, sometimes that heel's in the same place. Now what I want you to do is maybe pop that foot in a bit and keep the heel completely perpendicular to the mat, so that the ball of the foot and the heel are in line. So now my heel is at a right angle to the floor. Hopefully that makes sense. It's pushing vertically down and not like this. So when we're working like this, we're working through the front of the shin. When we're working like this, you can feel that we're really working through the plantar fascia of the foot. Nice. And then from here, we're going to come into, so to bring that knee down and drop that foot, I'm just going to move the brick so that you can see, we come into what's known as Anjayanasana, where we drop that foot forward. And this is also known as crescent pose. And then from here we can lift up and we can see the heel is high and we come into an Anjayanasana, but only a variation, which is a little bit more advanced. And if this is too strong, feel free to bring the back knee down, because you can do this pose with the knee down as well. Again, tuck your tailbone under so you feel the glutes are working. And with the arms lifted, we can bring that crescent shape into it. And if you're with the knee down and the foot flat, we can bring the crescent shape into. If this is really uncomfortable and you're finding that no matter how much you try and stretch out the belly, you're still getting a crunch or a fold in the back that doesn't feel good, a compression, that's the word I was looking for. Just feel free to either bring the knee down, bring the shoulders forward, or a combination of both. So there's our crescent. And then as we exhale, come all the way back, draw back into downward facing dog. Again, we'll rotate the elbows forward, which draws the shoulders away from the ears. And draw into Uddiyana Bandha, so that in downward facing dog, we should feel like we've got like the little shape of a greyhound. Draw the heels away. And let's try that on the other side. This time bringing the right foot forward. I'm going to sit, first of all, take a runner's lunge. I'm using my bricks again. I'm brick happy today. Just thinking of lifting the heart and the chest. That encourages the shoulders to draw down the back, the wrists are gentle, pushing the back heel away, and letting the hips drop and open. You know, the body is the condition of today, which reflects what we did to it yesterday. And this, could be anything from walking to what we ate or drank, or not drank, maybe we didn't drink enough water. It could also be the load of food, it could be the load of weight we carried, it could, as in, carrying heavy things, it could be, we went to the gym or went for a run. So your body changes daily, sometimes hourly, sometimes in this 30-minute class, your body will be a different feeling body at the end. Let's pop in the back foot a little. We're going to rise on up into crescent pose. First of all, pushing the heel away, and then tuck your tailbone under and bring. So there may be a bit of jiggery-pokery. Jiggery-pokery is a complete yoga word that we find in all the yoga sutras, which we don't, which is Emma's way of saying, which is my way of saying, just readjust your alignments, jiggery-pokery your feet around until you feel that you're in a place that's right for you. Let's draw the arms up here, and remember, you can also come down and take Anjayanasana. So maybe let's just do that as well. Maybe really, we've got that lovely opening on the hips. We can tuck the tailbone under. The heel is really active. The plantar fascia of the foot stops us getting plantar fasciitis as we stretch out the foot. Our foundation on the earth. The bum cheeks are squeezing down and then opening through the front body. We find that crescent shape. And again, you can bring the head into this if you want to. You can drop deeper into this. Proper yoga pose. This is an Instagrammable thing. Not that I'm into all of that really. And then as we exhale, come all the way back into downward facing dog. So we're working it slowly. Blimey, it's much stronger. Really nice, everyone. Nice. Let's set the left foot forward. Just take Anjayanasana again. Hands on hips, drop it forward. And then to take it back, straighten the front leg, hands on hips, drop it forward, and step it back. You know, and then we can put the hands on the hips, reach the arms up and take your crescent. And then exhale, come all the way back, head to knee. Come forward again. And again, if you're finding that this is really quite stiff, you haven't got a lot of movement at all, we can take the hand onto that knee and we can just begin to oscillate or circulate, breaking down that collagen within the hips. You know, collagen fibers lay down when there's not a lot of movement because the body goes, oh, well, this body isn't moving here. I'm going to lay down some collagen rather than elastin. And that means that we're taking away that flexibility. And it's usually through lack of use, lack of movement in that area. And this is just the body's way of protecting itself so that you just don't go and move it and then tear it. So we have to break down that collagen. And this way of rotating through is a really lovely way of doing that. Straighten that leg again. And then push off the back foot, step forward to the front of the mat, head to knee. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, step back into a lunge, draw the back knee down, and let's take Anjaneyasana on the other side. Again, we're going to tuck your tailbone under, lift up, extend that space between the hips and the ribs. Draw the arms to the sky. Maybe this is your lot, maybe your foot can come forward, maybe this is already enough. And then without compression in the spine, you should feel this back bend in the front body. Nice. That sounds wrong. Maybe you can drop forward, but you do feel that in the front body. We're not putting any pain into the spine. Rotate the thigh in. Exhale, we can come forward. Or just straighten the leg even. Inhale, take your back bend. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, take that up. Exhale, come forward. Nice. Excuse me. Nice. Reaching that all the way up, take that deep back bend. Heart opener, opening the heart so you can spread that love out to the world. And then as we exhale, we we lift the heart and chest, we straighten the spine, we lift up and we draw the body down. Pick up the back foot, step both feet forward again, inhale, rise on up. Let's take a sun salutation. As we inhale, come up halfway. As we exhale, we lower to the earth. As we inhale, come up halfway. And as we exhale, step back into your plank. We can bring the knees down or we can keep the legs up as we roll over the toes. So if this feels too strong, bring the knees down. And then we lower the body through chaturanga. And then inhale, come up into either baby cobra or up dog. And as we exhale, push back into downward facing dog, back to where we've been, rotating those heels backwards. Let's lift the left leg to the sky and then step that foot forward. So we've done warrior one, we've done some variations of warrior one, and now warrior two. Well, with warrior two, we step the left foot forward and we bring the right foot in to, so we can turn the right foot out. So the right foot is parallel with the short end of the mat. We're going to drop into the front knee and draw the knee towards the little toe. Inhale, we're going to draw the arms out. Now we can lift the arms up. We can extend the arms, palms facing up, which draws the shoulders down. And then at the last minute, flip the wrists. And then from here, we're going to exalt your warrior, which means turning the ribs upwards. Maybe you can drop it into the front hip, keep the feet in the same position, and lift that left arm to the sky. And then come back to warrior two again, keeping the same position in the leg. Maybe you can draw that hip a bit deeper. Make sure this knee isn't coming in. So have a look, you should be able to knee and then 3 toes. Outside edge of the foot is really working hard. Press into the outside edge, you really feel the instep working there. And then straighten in the front leg, micro bend if you're hypermobile, as in put a tiny weeny bend in there. Reach the left arm forward. Take that left hand either in front of you to a brick, or you can just let it glide and slide down the front of the shin. And reach the right hand onto the hip, or to the sky. Draw that right hip slightly forward as we then twist the ribs a little further. For our triangle pose, which is a trikonasana. So warrior, and then flow back to warrior two. So we've done warrior one, we've done crescent pose, and this is warrior two. And then known as Virabhadrasana, A, B, and C. And then we're going to take that to the other side. So I've just flipped to the other side. If you wanted to step back and bring your other foot forward, if depending on how you're viewing your screen, feel free. Just make sure you're not so wide. Often in this pose you can get too wide. You start to get the muscles of the belly or the back can not like that. So we're going to, and the hips are square on. So looks like here I'm facing 3/4. The hips are square on. So what happens, this knee wants to come forward. So draw the knee back and rotate the ribs and the hips in line. Extend the arms, drop into it. And it's just the drishti, the gaze, that turns towards the middle finger. Drop a little deeper and hold the pose. Find, that inner warrior within you. Flip the wrists, draw the ribs to the sky. Drop the back hand just behind the thighs and lift them up. Into our exalted warrior or Suriname warrior. Keep that left instep working. And then as we inhale, straighten the front leg, reach forward, left hand on hip, right hand onto a brick or to the inner shin. Try not to hold onto the legs. We want this idea of pushing away as we then open up the arms. And we're kind of thinking of stacking the shoulders, but I try to feel it like stacking them is kind of too rigid because the body is made of liquid and everything's floating because they're not like brick on brick. It's kind of like jellyfish on jellyfish with maybe a hard center, which is your bone. So I want you to float the arms open. As we inhale, come back to warrior two again. And then come back to center. And if you want to heel toe the feet in, or jump to center. And to take hold of our strappage, our lovely strappage. And these are like long straps. So I'm just going to tie that up, but otherwise you have a little bit of a tail. And take that behind. So hold on to it with one, draw it into one elbow, and then take the other elbow in. And then you should be able to just take it just slightly above onto the upper arm. And then I'm just going to tie that, and I'm actually just going to tuck it into the back of my leggings to keep it out of the way. And I'm going to hold onto opposite elbows. So if you need to adjust it, try and take it off before you adjust it, because it's so difficult. And now I need to move this brick out of the way. Never mind, I'll do it without the brick. So we're going to feel that drawing the shoulder blades back. So we'll have a lovely posture here. And maybe that's it. So actually I've just made, so from here, we need to hold on to opposite elbows. If you don't have a strap, just hold on to opposite elbows. We're going to take our warrior two again, left foot forward, right foot back. Align the heel with the instep. Take whatever minor adjustments you need to. And then from here, you're going to come into the same pose. So keep the hips and the shoulders in line. And the nicest thing about doing this as a recording is that maybe you can see yourself as well. And if not, just check your alignment. And then we're going to slowly think about exalting the warrior. So first of all, we're going to fold, rather than folding down, we're going to fold the shoulder towards the knee, but keeping the left shoulder lifted. And then come back up. We're going to twist the ribs to the sky and then exalt the warrior. So we're going to come back and then come forward. And this time we're going to draw the shoulder to the back. Keep the head in alignment with the chest. Come back again. And then this time we're going to twist the body and come as though we're going to come into humble warrior. Draw the left ribs in line with the left inner thigh. And tuck in the chin so the crown is extended. Push the back foot and the crown, back foot behind you and the crown forward. And then inhale and lift off. Let's swap the feet to the other side. So this is just giving us that lovely restriction, because often what happens, as you can see quite naturally, is when you bring that right foot forward, the right shoulder comes with it. So we're going to straighten those hips. Again, check your alignment, because that could also be making the shoulders come forward. Take your hair out of your mouth. Sorry. And then lift the heart and the chest. We're going to draw the right shoulder to the right knee as we bend through to that warrior two pose. And then inhale, come up, exalt the warrior ribs to the sky. And then come up, take the left shoulder to the back. And then come into humble warrior. Rotate the ribs, draw the navel in. Right ribs to the left and the thigh. And this covers on a little bit of an angle. So it actually looks like I'm going a little bit deeper than I actually am. And then as we inhale, come all the way up. Heel toe the feet. Jump back to center and take your strap away. Taking that strap off to the side. Let's just really feel that openness in the shoulders. I'm going to come back and do it again. So find warrior two, extend the arms, draw those arms out. As we inhale, reach up, find that opening in the chest. Nice. We're going to come forward, shoulders. We would do a shoulder towards the knee for Trikonasana, float the arms. And then as we exhale, come back to warrior two again. Now maybe you can draw up the hips even deeper. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Draw the shoulders away, just like that movement, that restriction we had with our belt. And then slowly hinge the body forward as we draw the inner thigh to the outer ribs of the left. And then maybe draw the head down. Keep the thigh dropping in. The left thigh wants to drop out. Uddiyana Bandha is working. Open up the shoulders. Let's hold it here. And this is called humble warrior. So this is a variation of warrior. I'm going to come all the way up. I'm going to release the arms, draw the elbow to the thigh, and draw that left hand to the floor or to a brick. If you need a brick, we'll reach that right arm all the way over for side angle pose. Push the outer edge of the foot down. And then as we inhale, come all the way up. If you need to take your brick with you. Find your warrior two on the other side. Remember, ribs to the sky, ribs and hips facing forward. Forward, please. Drop into the hip. Drop into the knees. Spread the toes. Let's exalt our warrior, taking that up to the sky. As we come forward, we straighten the front leg, we reach, we bring the hands either to a brick or to float away. Finding that lovely Ujjayi breath. And then as we inhale, bend the knee, interlace the fingers behind the back. And if any of these are too strong, feel free to bring the back knee down at any point. Maybe you're getting a bit tired and you're not happy in the pose. So you can do these on the knees as well. So I'm just going to come back up. Drop, interlace the fingers. And again, this time the right ribs and the right inner thigh. For a humble warrior on the other side. Feel those legs working, the belly working, tucking in the chin. And then inhale, rise all the way up. Release the hands to warrior two. Bring the elbow to the thigh, slide that hand away, or you can keep it here, or you can take the hand over your waist and reach that over into your side angle. And then as we exhale, come all the way back to center. And the heel toe the feet in, jump up. And I'm going to come into warrior three. I'm going to take two bricks in front of me. I'm going to fold all the way down. Bring those hands forward. And just align the hips with the heels and the knees. Begin to extend the hands forward for a nice forward stretch. So I'm taking these poses really slowly. Hopefully I've broken them down with enough, with enough yoga knowledge and intelligence for you to understand them. But if you don't, there's a Q&A that you can just ask us things. Oh, that's all three of us, Emily and Hannah and myself. And if there's anything that you're not sure on, you feel free just to say, I'm not quite getting that, please can you explain it again? I'll be happy to do that in the live Zoom that we've got planned. Let's take, this time I'm going to bring the shoulders and the bricks, which are underneath the hands and underneath the shoulders, in a little bit. Feet are hip width apart, make sure they're parallel. And slide that right leg away. And imagine you're pushing it into a wall. Again, you can put a slight bend in the supporting leg if you want to. And definitely do that if you're hypermobile. Now rotate that hip down so your pelvis is square. Now you may want to hang out on the bricks. You may want to just think about lifting one hand and the other and getting used to how you transfer the weight from the hands to here, to the middle of your body. Lift on up, bring your hands into your heart center if you want to, and then bring them down. And then maybe bring one brick to fall on the floor. Bring one hand to your heart center. Push the foot away, and then maybe you feel comfortable enough to bring the other. And then again, these are various stages, so if you're just still practicing, if it's the first time you've done it, congratulate yourself for getting this far. You can then draw the shoulders back, or you can even bring the arms forward. Holding it here. And then bring that all the way up together. Great, shake off the legs and the butt, bring the hands down. Let's try that the other side. First of all, we inhale and float to your left leg away. Try not to lift it too high. Push the heel away. Lift the heart, the chest, draw the navel in. So this balance is always with the core and with your Uddiyana Bandha drawing in, and then pushing the heel away and push the crown of the head away. Feel that space between your belly button and your chest getting longer. Maybe again play with the balance, maybe just stay on your bricks. Bring one hand to the heart, the other hand to the heart, or one at a time. You may want to send the heart backwards. You may want to keep them at your heart center. Spread your supporting toes. And then maybe you want to come into the full variation of the pose where we draw those arms forward. And then come forward and step that all the way down. Bring the bottom down to the earth. Come all the way down. Bring the thighs in together. Just butterfly wing the thighs. Draw the feet out in front of you. Come all the way down. Bend in the knees. Rock from side to side. And then just slide in Shavasana. Just letting your legs release. Hoping you enjoyed this little workshop today with your warriors in your presence. Take a deep breath in and feel the whole of the feet release, the legs release, the buttocks release. Let the back of the head and the shoulders draw down, let the arms open and fall to the earth. Let your hands become heavy. Imagining a yellow light above your manipura, space between your heart and your belly button, your solar plexus. This is your powerhouse. It's your drive through life. This is a fire sign. Just imagine that orange light floating into this yellow chakra, this yellow midpoint in the subtle body. And it sends that yellow light around to the shoulders and down the arms, so you feel the yellow light tingling in your fingers and maybe filling up the palms of your hands with the yellow light. You feel it down through the spine, into the groin, into the heels, the knees, the holes of the feet, the whole of the legs, the hips, and then back up into the throat, the lips, the teeth, the tongue. Take a deep inhale and release through the nostrils. And let your eyes draw down. And then the eyeballs drop into sockets. Stay here, allowing yourself to be completely present in this moment. And I've got a poem for you to finish today called Love After Love by Derek Walker. The time will come when, with elation, you will greet yourself arriving at your own door, in your own mirror, and each will smile at the other's welcome and say, sit here, eat. You will love again the stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread, give back your heart to itself, to the stranger who has loved you all your life, whom you ignored for another, who knows you by heart. Take down the love letters from the bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your own image from the river, from the mirror. Sit, feast on your life. Take a long, deep breath in. And begin to move the toes and the fingers and draw the knees in towards the chest and invite that person, those knees in for a hug. Rock from side to side. And then slowly rock to the right, making your way up to a seated position at the front of the mat. Reaching the arms to the sky. Draw the thumbs to the third eye, the lips and the heart. And let's do this practice of one round of the mantra on. And thank you so much for your practice today. Namaste. I'll see you soon. Bye.